Us. All right. What might work for one person necessarily might not work for the other person. So, what I mean by that is imitating somebody else's lifestyle to try to make that lifestyle your own, because maybe for the purpose of, for the person, whatever the person is doing, they're making money from doing it, and they're living a somewhat successful life. So basically, you see that, and you're like, hey man, I want to do what that guy's doing. You know, you might not know too much about what the guy is doing, but you just want to do it anyway because you want to have what he has, meaning maybe car, house, money, so forth. You know, whatever he's doing might not be what you want to do. You might not be interested in doing it, but you want to doing it just for, just for the fame and the money or whatever like that. So saying that everybody is different in their own little way, everybody is raised differently. Also, because being raised in a different way can make your whole life different. I'm not saying that you can't change, but usually when you're raised a certain way and you follow that certain path in life, living in certain different parts of the world, that could change everything about you, change your whole life, or how your life is going to be. As I said, you can change, but it's most of the time you end up following that path. So everybody have something that they love to do, right? And most people don't really cannot find what they love to do. They don't really have a hobby or not like that. So they strive to look for something to fulfill their life. You know, so when you find something you like to do, even if you're doing it, and the money is not there yet, and it's hard, it's not really working out. If it's something that you're passionate about, you keep pushing with it. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing, because eventually, one day the money will come. It's not gonna be like thousands and thousands of dollars, but eventually the money will come. It's gonna take a while. It could take years, but keep on pushing what you're pushing. Never try to take somebody else's life or imitate the next man's life and try to make that your own. Because in the long run, yeah, sure, you might be able to get to where he's getting and probably do the job that he's doing. But then when you really think about it, is it something that you really want to do? You know, and most of the time, it's not what you want to do. So you're gonna live your life doing something that you don't want to do. But yeah, you're making money, but then you don't like doing what you're doing. So you basically, you're basically kind of ending your life right there. You're living a life of misery and stress. So every day you're going somewhere that you don't like to do the work, and you're sitting there, you know, the, I guess it might be busting your ass, it might not be busting your ass, but it's something that you don't want to do. But sure, you're making money, but in a long run, it's like you're really losing, So always never imitate the next man's passion or next man's dream. Always take what you have, you know, add to what you have, create it, something new, mix it up, a little bit of old, make it your own, and try to make it as successful as you can. Always love what you're doing, also. So once you love what you're doing, everything will flow into place, right? So, and one more thing too, don't really listen to what anybody telling you, because people gonna downplay you. They're gonna talk crap about you, and they're gonna say that, oh, you can't do it. This is foolishness. What you're doing don't make any sense. They're gonna talk. Some negative comments gonna be coming around. So just don't pay attention to that. Just keep on doing what you're doing and believe in yourself and keep on pushing what you're doing. Never take a next man's life or a next man's way of living and like, oh, I want that. I don't want my life. I want his, because his life look easy. You know, I mean, how you know his life is not hard because he's making money, so his life is easy. No, no. You know, sometimes making too much money or you have too much money, you make your life a problem. You're better off just making just enough to maintain. And once you have just enough to maintain, you live a simple life. Then you really and truly living life. Always remember, everything in this world always revolves around. So everything comes back around. So being saying that everything is not for say new right now, in this time right now, in this age right now, everything has already been done. It's just revolving and coming back around all over again. So me saying that, say like I'll use a combat sport for instance, okay? Like what I have like the cage fighting thing, and you have the jiu-jitsu, you're fighting on the ground, and so forth. And back in the day, stand-up was more of the thing. Like a stand-up fighter was more of the thing. Now everything is revolving back now around to stand-up fighting now. So there's still ground fighting, but it's more a stand-up sport now. It's more, everything is more standing up. So if you knock out the guy, you might get more bonus money. You know, people want you to stand up more now than to go on the ground. So everything revolves. So, you know, if you have an idea, and, you know, because everybody always want new thing. Everybody always want new, has to be new. You can take the old and make it new again, you know? So there's nothing really that you can't really come up with and make it your own. You can take a little bit there, take a little bit there, take a little bit there. And if you love to do it, then you just make it your own. And, you know, and then that's it, you know? But always make sure you do something that you love, passion, and from the heart. If it's not from the heart, don't do it. If you don't believe in it, don't do it. If you're not true with it, don't do it. Because if you don't believe in something and you're trying to put it out there, you know, then you're faking it. Like you're not being honest to yourself. You're being a fraud. So always be honest in whatever you're doing, and have the love and passion for it first. Don't worry about the money. You know, have a love for what you're doing first, and eventually everything will fall into place. It's okay in a sense that where you're getting the knowledge from. So, say like if when you're growing up, you know, you watch a lot of Bruce Lee movies, a lot of Van Damme movies, or you watch Muhammad Ali, or you watch a lot of like Michael Jordan for basketball and stuff like that. And, you know, that's what you were into when you were young. Those guys kind of like set the platform for everything. Like Bruce Lee, you know, set the platform. You know, Bob Marley for reggae music. You know. So I mean, you can take knowledge, you know, from those guys and implement it into your own. So for say, you can combine it with your knowledge also. You're not really imitating the person, but you're just taking, you know, one or two things, you know, that you think is like effective, you know, and you use it as your own, but also mixing it up with your own knowledge. You know, that's fine to do, because then you're still creating something. You know, you're not trying to be like the person. You know, you're just sampling some of their knowledge that they might have, you know, and just making it your own, add it to your own. So that is fine to do that. I mean, because everything is already, you know, the world is revolving around. Everything's already kind of been used already and been done. So to really say, oh, I created this, you know, you go on Google and look. I mean, somebody already have it already. So, you know, you're still creating. You know, you're just sampling. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like music. You know, you sample a track like a dub. You know, see, I rather, when it comes to music, I rather them sample the music than to make the music they have it now. Like today's music, like what they call hip hop or rap or whatever. You know, it's, I'm not even gonna talk on that. You guys can check out WayneGichie.com. You can subscribe to your channels, rate, comment. Keep on kicking, keep on stretching. You know, um, you know, don't give up on your goals, on your hobby. Keep on pursuing whatever you're doing, whatever your passion is from birth, from a young baby. If you love to sing, keep on singing. You love dancing, keep on dancing. You love doing martial arts, keep on pushing it. Don't pursue another man's dream for wealth and riches and fame and all that stuff. Stick to what you're doing. Add to it, make it your own, and and just put it out there. All right. Us.